Hi everyone, yes it's Alex, I'm back again. Just thought I'd do a quick review. I've had a new phone recently and for some reason I can't get my video files or large video files off the phone so easy. So if you've noticed on my last video there was no intro, you know, my super fancy intro, fancy, sure, but I figured, you know, hey, let's do it on the fly. It's an older piece, you've probably seen amazing pictures of it. You've probably seen amazing 4K video of it. So why does it matter what my video quality is like, or if I've got a cheeky little intro on with a bit of metal on it? It doesn't matter. I'm sure you just want to hear my opinion. You know, 5 or 6 who are watching. I'm not in the usual corner here. This is on the other side of the room, where I used to have all my detailed cabinets, and they've all been replaced with Bestas now. I'm really happy with this setup. I keep promising a collection video, and I will get there eventually. It feels like every time I'm pushing towards getting a collection I'm happy with, I decide to sell PCs, and we've got lots of new PCs coming in. So collection video will get there at some point. I did a collection video probably 2 years ago, I think. I did like a test video for lighting, I think it was, or something. So you can go back and see that, but the room's very, very different now. And also the Vega, Pop Culture Shop Vega Player 2. I kind of went around the room on that. Again, the room's changed again from that because all the details have gone. But anyway, on to the review. As you can see by the man who's staring straight at you, this is Arnie Terminator 2 premium format by Sideshow. This is an old piece. How old you're asking? I have no idea. Google it. It's an older piece, but nonetheless, probably one of the nicest Terminator pieces I've laid eyes on. The T1 they also did was very nice. Goes for a bit more money, that one. Goes for around £350, £400. I picked this up for £200 delivered. And it is the exclusive version as well. Exclusive's not really needed, but I just happened to pick up the exclusive one. It's a piece that has passed through my hands a couple of times, let's say that. And I've always wanted to get a Terminator piece, and this came into my head, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that being really nice, actually. So I'll pick that up, and it just happened to pick up for, you know, a pretty decent price. Like I say, it is an older Sideshow piece. And I don't think on camera it's going to do it any justice, but the face sculpt, I'd say, is one of Sideshow's better. Maybe not the best one they've done, I'm trying to think of a better one. Dutch, the Predator Dutch was not a good one. The T1 was pretty good. Other T2s weren't very good. The Battle Damage T2, which was like released a year or two ago, was horrible paints. This one, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to go out on a limb. That's not going out on a limb. And say this is Sideshow's best Arnie face sculpt. Now he is under. Let's move him back a bit. Does that make any difference? Because this is in one of my best cabinets, and as you can see, I've got LEDs running across stuff. So he's under intense light here. But you know, the lightness is so there. I think my camera's doing everything on this to try and change for the lighting, for me turning it and twisting it. So the first thing, yeah, the face likeness is bob on for me. And then we come down to the actual body sculpt. Now he is probably a little thin. You know, there's definitely definition there, but obviously Arnie's arms are, even in T2, were a lot fucking bigger than that. Chest feels good. A little thin in the legs, which we'll get to in a minute. I've seen people packing him with foam to bulk him out, which is probably a good idea. But I'm happy enough with how he is in stock. I don't think anyone look at it and say, oh, he doesn't look very big, or he doesn't, you know, because he has got, you know, this t-shirt on, this leather jacket and the leather trousers. Obviously we've got all the grenades down the belt here. The belt's completely movable. You can take it off if you'd like. All the grenades come out, they're all individual. Really nicely done. Onto the actual grenade launcher. Perfectly sculpted. Then we've got the strap coming off. You can do it with that. You can put it over your shoulder. You can do what you want with that. I like it hanging loose and coming right down to the base. Kind of like we've got the floor here, which is kind of got a marbly texture on it, and then obviously the base is very just Cyberdyne-y, techy. Thing. Let's go with that. It's a techie thing. You know, it looks the part. And then if we come back up, there's more of the trousers. See, even though the trousers do, you know, they are quite thin underneath, but you know, the trousers are a bit of fluffing, as Jerry from PCS last said, and it all looks pretty good. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done this in this cabinet because the lighting isn't great. But, you know, like I say, if you want better pictures, I'm sure you'll find them of this. Look at that, what's gone on there? Are you going to calm that down? No, it doesn't want to. No, it's deciding not to. I did actually drop the brightness up here. So, yeah, like I say, it's a fantastic statue, even under a ferocious light. Now the exclusive part, which you've probably just seen, there's the base, which is a little corrugated. It's got a bit of fluff underneath, and then you get the T2 arm, which is solid metal. Actually, I think it is. I think it's metal. Ooh, my light's gone back to normal. Like I say, it just basically, I have it sitting on the base, like so, and really, it doesn't add anything. It kind of takes away from the piece, really, because it's like, oh, Arnie, you know, putting in another grenade, going to fight out the window. Why is there a fucking Terminator arm on the base? You know, like I say, if you can find the regular for cheaper, as cheaper or cheaper than what I paid, 200, I'd say you can't really go wrong with this piece. It's a good size. It's just under, it's about 23.5 inches, just under 24 inches tall. Like I say, at the end of the day, with statues of Arnie, you want a good likeness, and for me, this is one of the best I've seen. Obviously, you know, in statue form especially, I'm sure Hot Toys and Enterbay have done better jobs, sure, on their figures, but I think the Enterbay 14T2 is pretty damn expensive. It's certainly not 200, 250 quid, which this guy floats around at. I imagine anyone with an Alien, Predator, Terminator setup, or, you know, you just want a couple of really cool movie pieces that look the part, and this is one of them. It's really easy to display. It goes in the detail, so it'll go in the best, it'll go wherever you want, really. You know, it's very museum pose, very museum base. Nothing sticking out anywhere, no big guns here, there, everywhere. And it's just really well done. It's a classic pose from a classic part of the film. You know, who doesn't like T2? It's one of the greatest action films ever. It's one of the greatest films ever. For me, anyway. I'm sure people will disagree, but, you know, T2, I'm sure everyone, you know, can say that T2, you know, was one of those films that's just like, you know, with like aliens, you know, just bordering on perfection when it comes to action sci-fi film. So, you know, I'd implore anyone to, you know, looking for, like I say, an Arnold statue in their collection, and just want to, you know, get something that's going to sit there, look pretty, do the job. and and mostly look like Arnie. Because I don't know about you, but I'd call myself quite a hardcore collector. I've got quite a few pieces and a big room dedicated to this stuff. And you'll find that when casual people come in who like, why do you pay this amount of money for these things, that sort of thing, relatives or people who haven't got a clue, or if you say, oh, look at this is Caesar from Planet of the Apes, and they look at it and go, yeah, that looks like I came out of the movie. If you say, hey, this is Arnie, and or you don't even say that, people will walk in and go, oh my god, that's Arnie from T2. Oh my god, it just looks like him. That's the sort of reaction I've had to this piece. Whereas other pieces, I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head. See, I don't collect really any movie pieces. I've got 3 at the minute. I've got an Alien Warrior maquette, Caesar from Planet of the Apes, and this guy from T2. I have got a few other bits coming, like the Howling from PCS and Werewolf London, American Werewolf in London from PCS. But really, I don't collect movie pieces. I don't collect any Marvel, because comics are always my preference. And if I do collect my movie, it's always been Alien and Predator. And even Terminator, Endos and things like that. So, likenesses have never really affected my collection, but I've seen some, there are some really, really bad likenesses out there. Especially from Sideshow. Their Loki that they did recently. Oh dear, boys and girls, that was not good. At the end of the day, I think a statue that's based on a celebrity, an actor, needs to look like them. It really needs to look like them, because I think if it doesn't look like them, what's the point? What's the point? It might as well be any old statue antis. So, anything I can say about this statue is they got Arnie spot on. I'm sure others will disagree, but for me, for the price and the quality of this piece, it's a bit of a gem, I think. A bit of an underrated gem as well. I'm surprised more people haven't got it, and I'm surprised it doesn't command a higher price. Because, like I say, everything on it's a good 8 out of 10. It's a good solid 8. I'd put the face sculpt at 9, me personally. But, it's a good solid 8, 8.5 all round. And, solid 8.5s don't really come around that often, especially for 200 quid. So there you go, guys. Quick review for you. I don't know what will be next. Hopefully, First Figures are going to move their butts and get King to me as soon as possible. When I get King, we'll go over what's happened over at First Figures, the line, and what's happening with Tekken and what other things. I've also got Saitama from One Punch Man coming from them, and Sif from Dark Souls. So Artorias won't be lonely anymore. All those are supposed to be shipping in August. Kotal Khan from Pop Culture Shock supposed to be here soon. Quan Chi from Pop Culture Shock is coming soon. I paid shipping on him, so he should ship within the next, who knows. And anything else coming in from PCS? PCS, basically, it's all PCS at the minute. I know the American Werewolf, Kessel Wolf is supposed to be pretty soonish as well, and maybe the Lord of Darkness will get here one day. Although recently, I think we always have an ongoing saga with Pop Culture Shock, and they've recently put up their new website. Lots of cool pieces on there. It's apparently sold out, and they've got them in stock. So if there's any Pop Culture Shock pieces you missed out on, go and check them out. You might even go an artist proof. But yeah, so the next few months, definitely King, Sif, Saitama, American Werewolf, Quan Chi, and hopefully Kotal Khan. And then, who knows at that? It'll be Christmas then. Be thinking of next year's statues. Also, Comic-Con just happened. Sideshow are killing it. Court of the Dead, man. I think that's where all my money's going next year. But yes, enough waffling. That was kind of a review. Would you call that a review? I'd call it a ramble as usual. But there you go, guys. That is Sideshow's Arnie from Terminator 2, T-800. Was it T-850 and T2? No, T-800. I can't remember. It might have been a T-850. Or was that 3? Don't know. But there you go. Quarter scale, premium format from Sideshow. If you can find it for the right price, go for it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.